Ever opened your brand new MacBook expecting magic, only to instantly feel lost? Maybe you've spent years on Windows and suddenly nothing looks the same. The keyboard feels different, the apps don't look familiar, and even deleting a file leaves you scratching your head. Don't worry, you're not alone. By the end of this video, you'll know the 10 easiest things to set up on your MacBook so you can go from overwhelmed to organized and start enjoying that cozy, minimalist Apple vibe you've been dreaming of. When I switched from Windows to Mac, I honestly thought it would be simple, right? Sleek, intuitive, everyone says it just works. But when I opened it up, it felt like I had to relearn how to use a computer from scratch. Things I did without thinking on Windows, like right-clicking, finding my files, or even logging in, suddenly became puzzles. If you're nodding right now because that's exactly how you feel, you're in the right place. In this video, I'm walking you step by step through the first 10 things you should set up or know about on your MacBook when you're brand new to macOS. And don't worry, everything will be explained in such simple steps that even a 6-year-old could follow along. That way, you don't feel overwhelmed, and instead, you can enjoy learning as you go. This is Soft Switch, where we make switching to Apple aesthetic, simple, and stress-free. We'll start with the basics, like setting up your Apple ID, Touch ID, and iCloud so everything is secure and synced. Then I'll show you hidden shortcuts that every beginner should know, like the one that saved me when I thought I had completely locked myself out of my Mac. And finally, we'll move on to the fun part, customizing your Mac with wallpapers, widgets, and dock settings, so your laptop feels not just functional, but beautifully yours. So grab your coffee or tea, maybe light a candle, and let's turn this setup process into something calm and cozy, like styling your dream workspace instead of stressing over a new device. And hey, if you're already finding this helpful, make sure you hit that like button. It tells me you want more cozy, beginner-friendly Mac tutorials like this one. I still remember my first week with my MacBook. I had typed my password to log in the day before, but the next morning, it just didn't work. I tried everything and started to panic. I thought, oh no, I'll have to reset the whole laptop. For a moment, I felt like I had broken my brand new laptop, but later I learned it was a tiny setting that had been accidentally turned on. One shortcut turned it off and I was back in. That experience taught me two things. Macs are extremely secure and most problems have simple fixes once you know where to look. So let's start at the very beginning, the setup screen. It might look intimidating, but I promise it's much simpler than it seems. The first thing to set up on your MacBook is your Apple ID, iCloud, and Touch ID. When you first turn on your MacBook, Apple will guide you through a setup screen. It may look like a lot, but don't worry. These are just the essentials. Your Apple ID is your master key. It unlocks everything in Apple's world, your apps, your notes, your photos. If you've ever used an iPhone, you already have one. Just log in with that. If not, creating one only takes a minute. Next is iCloud. This is Apple's invisible storage. Turn it on and your files, photos, and notes are automatically backed up and synced across all your devices. That means your MacBook, your iPhone, even your iPad, all stay in harmony. No more emailing yourself files. And then Touch ID. This is the little silver button in the corner with a fingerprint sensor. Follow the prompt and place your finger on it until it's saved. From now on, you can log in with just a tap. You can even approve app downloads and payments with it. It feels futuristic the first time you use it. No more typing and retyping passwords. Just a quick tap and you're in. The second thing you have to know about your MacBook is how to fix the password not working problem. Here's something that catches a lot of beginners, myself included. You set your password on day one, but then the next morning it doesn't work. Some of the keys on the keyboard don't work properly. You try again and again, still nothing. But here's the thing, you can't just reset them without logging in first, which is amazing for protecting your laptop from thieves, but terrifying when it happens to you. The good news, the fix is simple. On the login screen, press Option plus Command plus F5. This opens accessibility settings. If mouse keys is turned on, just toggle it off. Suddenly, your keyboard works again. Crisis averted. The third thing to set up on your MacBook is learning how to manage open apps the Mac way. On Windows, the taskbar makes it clear which apps are open. On Mac, it's a little different. Here's the shortcut you'll love, Command plus Tab. Press it and you'll see every app that's open, like flipping through a stack of cards. And when you're finished with an app, here's the key difference. Clicking the red X doesn't actually quit it. It just closes the window. The app is still running in the background. To fully quit an app, press Command plus Q. Think of it like this. Clicking the red X is like closing a door but leaving the lights on. Pressing Command plus Q is actually switching the lights off. The fourth thing to set up on your MacBook is mastering the delete key. Oh well, after the mouse key drama, you'd think I'd catch a break. But nope. The next surprise was the delete key. On a Windows keyboard, you can delete forwards and backwards. But on a MacBook, the key labeled delete is actually backspace. It only erases backwards. To delete forwards, you press FN plus delete. And when deleting files, you can drag them into the trash, or you can press Command plus Delete for a quick shortcut. It feels strange at first, like switching handbags and realizing your favorite pocket isn't there. But once you learn the new layout, it becomes second nature. Here's what really helped me, realizing that most Windows shortcuts do exist on Mac. You just use different keys. On Windows, you use Control. On Mac, you'll mostly use Command. The Option key works like Alt, and the Control key on Mac is different. It's used for right-click or special functions. Here are a few side by side. Copy on Windows is Control plus C, and on Mac, it is Command plus C. Paste on Windows is Control plus V, and on Mac, it's Command plus V. Here's a tip. Just think Command equals Control, and most shortcuts will click right into place. The fifth thing to set up on your MacBook is enabling right-click. On Windows, right-clicking is second nature. You do it without thinking, to rename files, copy things, or open menus. But on a MacBook, you tap the trackpad and nothing happens. Here's the fix. Go to System Settings and then click on Trackpad and then click on Point and Click and turn on Secondary Click. Now, you can either tap with 2 fingers or assign the right click to the bottom corner of your trackpad. Personally, I love the 2-finger tap. It feels natural and works anywhere. I remember the first time I tried to rename a file and couldn't figure it out. I thought, how does a laptop this advanced not let me right click? The moment I found this setting, it felt like unlocking a secret door. The sixth thing to set up on your MacBook is learning Finder basics and decluttering it. Finder is Apple's version of File Explorer, and it's where all your files live. At first, it can feel messy, too many icons, too many folders, but once you know the basics, it becomes your calm center. Here are 3 simple things that make Finder feel instantly better. Show the path bar. Go to the top menu, then click on View, and then Show Path Bar. This adds a breadcrumb line at the bottom so you always know where you are in your folder system. Use your home folder. Inside, you'll find desktop, documents, downloads, pictures, and music. These are your core spaces. Think of them as drawers already labeled for you. Declutter the sidebar, right-click, and remove folders you don't use. Keep only your essentials like desktop, documents, and downloads. It's like clearing your desk and keeping only the notebook and pen you actually use. Suddenly, the space feels peaceful instead of overwhelming. And here's the best part. Finder is fully customizable. You can tweak it until it suits your exact needs. I'll be making a full video just on Finder setup soon, so make sure you're subscribed if Finder feels like your biggest hurdle. The 7th thing to set up on your MacBook is customizing your wallpaper and display. This is where your MacBook starts to feel like yours. Go to System Settings, then Wallpaper, and pick something calming or inspiring. I created mine in Canva, just a simple pastel background with a bit of aesthetic text. Every time I open my Mac, it makes me smile and feel cozy inside. If Canva feels too much right now, don't worry. Pinterest is full of free, cozy wallpapers. Just find one you love, save it, and set it in your wallpaper settings. The 8th thing to set up on your MacBook is your browser. Apple gives you Safari as the default option. It's clean, minimal, and very battery friendly. But if you're already used to Google Chrome, this step will make your transition so much smoother. When I first set up my MacBook, I simply logged into Chrome with my Google account, and instantly all my bookmarks, saved passwords, and extensions appeared. Years of logins transferred in one simple step. It honestly felt like magic. I had been dreading retyping all my passwords into every site, but when Chrome synced everything, it was such a relief. It made my Mac feel familiar on day one. So if you've been using Chrome for years, this is the fastest way to feel at home. If you prefer to start fresh, Safari is still a beautiful, minimal option. The 9th thing to set up on your MacBook is widgets. Widgets are little mini apps you can glance at, like calendar, weather, or reminders. To open them, just click the clock in the top right corner of your Mac. But here's where it gets fun. You can also pin widgets directly to your desktop. This creates a clean, minimalist dashboard that feels both useful and aesthetic. You can style widgets 2 ways: monochrome, simple and minimal, blending in with your wallpaper; full color, bright and eye-catching, perfect if you want a pop of energy. Think of widgets like the accessories on your desk. Do you want neutral tones that melt into the background, or cheerful pops of color that brighten your mood? You get to choose. The 10th thing to set up on your MacBook is customizing your dock and trackpad. The dock is like your desk's top drawer. It should only hold your everyday essentials. Here's how to make it your own. The placement of the dock. Go to System Settings, then click Desktop and Dock. You can move it to the bottom, left, or right of your screen. Add or remove apps from the dock. To keep an app in the dock, right-click, then go to Options, then choose the option Keep in Dock. To remove one, drag it out until you see a little remove cloud, or drag it to the trash bin. Size and magnification of the dock. In the same settings menu, adjust the size or turn on magnification so icons zoom gently when you hover. It's playful and cozy. Hot corners. With hot corners, you can assign shortcuts like Show Desktop to each corner of the screen. In the settings menu, go to Desktop and Dock, scroll to Mission Control. At the end, you'll find hot corners to open the settings for hot corners. You can easily add a modifier key like Command or Shift, so they only trigger when you mean them to. Trackpad gestures. Go to System Settings, Trackpad, and try 3-finger swipes, pinches, and taps. These make your Mac feel fluid and intuitive, like flipping through the pages of a favorite book. The day I added dock magnification and set up hot corners with a modifier key, it finally felt like my Mac was moving with me instead of against me. It was smooth, fun, and so much more personal. And as a bonus thing to set up on your MacBook, let's talk about Spotlight search and multiple desktops. Spotlight is like having your own personal assistant built right into your Mac. Press Command plus space bar and a search bar pops up. You can use it to open apps, find documents, look up notes, or even do quick math and conversions. It's fast, simple, and feels like magic once you start using it. Now let's add desktops. Swipe up with 3 fingers or press Ctrl plus up arrow, and you'll see all your open windows in Mission Control. From here, you can create multiple desktops by clicking the plus sign or just make an app full screen. It's like having separate rooms for different moods, all inside your Mac. Now, let's pause for a second and notice the transformation. When you first open a Mac, it can feel overwhelming. Different keyboard, different apps, different ways of doing even the simplest things. But now you've got the essentials in place, you know how to solve beginner struggles, and you've customized your Mac so it feels calm, organized, and uniquely yours. And if you want to keep this transformation going, I've got something for you. Grab my Mac Day 1 checklist in the description. Inside, you'll find everything we covered in this video written down step by step. And as a bonus, you'll also get my full Windows to Mac keyboard shortcuts cheat sheet, totally free. Keep it handy and you'll never feel stuck. Before you go, a few quick things. Like this video if it saved you time or stress. Subscribe for more cozy, beginner-friendly Mac tutorials. And comment below which of these tips surprised you the most. I love hearing your stories.